Hello again. It's been a minute and I would like to continue with my Saudi experience. I promised I'll be sharing the few life lessons I've had from my experience. And one of them is letting go of control, letting go of the over expectations and accepting what is. Like I said, when I left for Saudi, I never thought there would be a time I'll be shouting all over the internet that I went to Saudi, because first of it was I was feeling like it was not a place for me, and the way I had conducted myself. Anyone who knows me also knows, like, if I'm saying I went to Saudi to be a maid, it comes off like you're not making that up. I am not, guys. And I'm hoping to encourage someone. I'm hoping this will not, it is not a stone throwing or a judging opportunity for people, but I'm hoping I'm encouraging someone out there that nobody is immune of suffering or problems on earth. It doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter mko na nini home. It doesn't matter familia yenyu iko aje. We all have a path. And even there are songs that are sang, kuna vitu mama yako, ndugu yako hawezi kufanyia, kuna uchungu. There's a pain that you're going to have to feel, you as an individual, the way you are born, because you're born as an individual. And this is the pain of my journey, the journey of Wamo. And I've been learning to let go of so much control. When I was thinking about death, first of all, because death is one of the things that I have been battling since I came from Saudi. I have almost died. I keep saying I have almost died so many times. And the first time I had an encounter with my soul leaving my body, I was so devastated. I never thought, okay, I knew as human beings we leave this place. But I never thought as Beth, after trying everything, even being a maid, that my life was going to end just like that without me achieving anything. But first of all, I have learned to let go of all that. Let go of all my expectations and accept that life happened. I was a maid in Saudi at one point. I made that decision. Life becomes hard sometimes and it forces us to make tough decisions. I made a tough decision to go to a very dangerous place. Kenyans, it is not a new story. And first of all, I want to congratulate me and my bravery, because I'm courageous. And my courage has been tested in so many levels that even sharing this story is becoming a problem. I am feeling alienated. I am feeling disconnected. I am seeing so many familiar things that feel like I can't connect to. They are distant and detached, and I'm trying to re-establish connections and I can't feel anything. As of 2nd of March, 2024, Wamo is struggling with feeling anything, with feeling any kind of care, with caring. I think once you reach a point where you are able to let go of your life, like literally anything can happen right now and I'm okay with it. Things happen. You have, earth is full of strange things that they used to burden my heart, like, where is God? I used to ask, this is happening, where is God? This is happening, where is God? This is happening, where is God? Until I encountered him for myself. And all I want to say is, like, God is like the principal. No, the head teacher or that teacher, a teacher or a parent or another person just guides, but you have to go through you have to do something yourself. You have to, how earth works is you have to do something for yourself. You have to feel something for yourself. Some lessons, so that you can appreciate life deeper. You'll have to feel something will have to happen to you and you feel so much pain. So much pain. Until you know how to handle pain and to learn something from your pain, that's when life starts happening. And life is tough. God is there. I am still battling with a lot to do the concept of God, because I was wondering, before I went to Saudi, I keep saying I had tried so many things. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. and pray. And people say I didn't have faith, and I keep wondering, I used to pray. I used to pray for God to make a way for me to stop suffering and to stop being a burden to my family. I used to pray for God to show me a way to be independent finally, so that I can, the joy of adulting, the joy of being able or having the opportunity to reach a certain age is like, I am 32. I would like for people to invite me to a place and I can go on my own money. That would feel nice. I would like to go somewhere and do something that is, people will say, that Beth did that. That is the joy of adulting. And I'm not in a position to do that. And that's where all my depression comes in. Sharing this story and accepting that I was a maid in Saudi has been one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. And life is tough. Saudi started, there's so much interference after Saudi. I keep saying this, like I ate an apple. That if at that moment when we started seeing things, I see things, I hear things that I never used to hear before. So everything is so disturbing, and I have I'm doing a lot of mental processing to understand so much, because everything comes through to me as weird. And, sometimes I sit here and wonder, our Saudi, wako tu pale. There's nothing I can do to niwapate niwaambie vile wamesumbua maisha yangu. Hi through. One of the things I'm learning is to stop fighting so much, and I am. It is painful. It is hard to see your oppressor in the eye, to know you can meet them somewhere and they're oppressing you, and they have been oppressing you all your life, and you cannot do anything. It is hard. It takes a lot of effort, and okay, I surrender. We left on the part, I'll continue. I hope I will continue getting used to this new world, because I swear, I see places looking like Kenya. I see familiar faces, but it doesn't feel like home. And I have so much invasive thoughts. I have so many imaginary scenarios, and they're not imaginary because I have seen things happen. Things that I only could see. And when I tell other people, it appears like I'm insane. And I do not want to go to Mathare. So I hope and I pray every day, and I try and I put a lot of effort to become. Because if I said exactly what happened with the exact emotion I was put through, I'll probably be in Mathare. But here I am. And I'll be trying, and I'll be trying, and I'll be trying. I told you one of the things about Saudi, they were refusing to pay me until 3 months would go by, and now I understood why. And I think every other new person or every other new girl, if you're in Saudi, hello, are you ever paid before 3 months pass by? Because you're not paid because you have to earn the right to be called a Saudi resident. And to be called a Saudi resident, anyone following me on the socials, you go through tests. You must prove beyond reasonable doubts that you are worth being called a Saudi resident. I told you, Saudi is a special place. Saudi is a special place. Saudi is a special place. Keep listening. Saudi is not your normal place. Saudi is a special place, and everything, they make paying you a big deal because, first of all, do you know how privileged you are to step in Saudi without dying? Ding. Do you know how privileged you are to step in Saudi and you're not dead? You're walking amongst everything supernatural and you're alive. That's how they find it. They find it hard to pay you because they are seeing like they're doing you a favor. Wanaona kama wanakufanyia favor. Unajua kwenye, of course you don't know, but to them, of course, privilege is a bad thing because that's how Saudis present themselves. They present themselves as, sisi ndio wale. And they are, wao ndio wale. And I hate that attitude. You know, everybody, I've been told by so many people have an attitude, but it is not an attitude. I'm just very, 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 I can't, siwezi nyamaza kitu mbaya happen, you know, I'll just say it. Nitakwambia, na mimi sasa sijali wewe ama ni president ama wewe ni nani, mimi nitakwambia by the way, hey, hapo hakukwenda vizuri. Na hiyo ndio maoni yangu. And I think I keep saying this, and I'm being told this is my problem because I never let things slide. But you know the problem of the world today? Why we have so many bad things happening? Because somebody who should have said something let things slide. Look at where we are. You should just saying something and standing, you know. And if our ancestors didn't say something and have an attitude, we would still be slaves and we would still not be enjoying life as it is. So I am choosing to be that person who doesn't let anything slide. Know how to deal with my attitude, because of course it's not an attitude. I am pretty sure anyone who has interacted with me, I am open to correction. I heed to correction. So if anyone is telling me ati hutaki kuambiwa, hujazoea kuambiwa, mimi nitakuambia ile itafanyika ifanyike. You have already traumatized me so much. You have terrorized me, so I am ready for anything. I'm just saying, if things are bad, and I'm going to say it. You know, in one of my videos, I said, why are only girls going to be maids in Saudi? Only girls are going to be maids in Saudi because even the way God made a woman, it is easier to oppress a woman. It is easier to sexually harass a woman. Of course, sikatai kuna wanaume wamepitia sexual harassment and some kind of oppression. But mostly, the way we come into the world and the way we are introduced to the world, the way we are oriented, we come brainwashed that a woman should already take so much. Yeah? And that's why I keep saying, even in my family, there are things I'll never keep quiet about. And, you know, people advising me or trying to tell me I'm going all wrong, tell me some things you keep quiet. No, let me tell you. I come here with pure intentions. I'm putting pure energy that is yet to be rewarded. And then you're telling me to keep quiet? And that's why I keep telling you guys. If you meet me out here doing my things are tough for me. And I'm fighting against so many higher powers. And it is scary, and it is still... I'm recording this event for myself to keep reminding me how hard this season was for me. So I'm telling you, it is easier to take girls to Saudi because the world is run by men. God is a man. So it is easier to take advantage of a woman. It has always been easier to make the woman do the work. It has always been easier to tell the woman, do this, do that. It has always been easier to, you know, I'll talk about sexual harassment because it's part of the journey of my Saudi housemaid work. It is easier to fondle a woman's breast. Nobody will ask you're a man. It is easier to touch a woman's buttocks. Nobody will ask you. It is easier. Men find it easy to take advantage of women anyhow. And because, of course, if a huge man is coming to take advantage of you, you know outright he's already at an advantage because you can't fight him direct. You might die. So it is easier to take advantage of a woman, and that's why they opened a leeway to take girls and women who refuse to be in marriages. You know, if you are a girl and in Saudi, you probably don't value marriage, or you are fighting marriage, or you don't. There's a thing that is making you not get married. True or false? There's a huge thing. Everything in Saudi is to do with marriage. You are not there to be a maid. You are there to be taught lessons because you have, hujui ku accept things, hujui wanaume huwa waulizi, hujui wanaume huwa wanavumiliwa, hujui kazi ya mutumia ni kutumia kunyamaza. And most other women who are there, even older women, are women who are not in good terms with their husbands. And if it is not about husbands, it's about the way you think. I learned that the way, you know, we all have the way we perceive life. There is a person who will never sleep if they don't have a husband. Najua, they are girls, the way we have been raised as girls, a woman only becomes a woman when she has a husband, when she's able to run a family, even if it is killing her, even if it is breaking her, even if she's not having fun, even if, that's the way women have been taught. And there are some of us who strongly believe, art is all about perspective. Don't be lied to by anyone. I am going to share a lot of things that are going to rub so many people off the wrong way, but it's the truth. I am sharing the truth that I have traumatic episodes learning. I'm learning a truth that I have walked earth looking at like it's a live movie, and I was waiting for it to end. It is never ending. For me, Life After Saudi looks like a movie that is never ending. When I came back, I used to think, damn, people have been paid to entertain me. And I used to ask my family, are you okay? Nini watu, you are so weird. I used to tell them that all the time. And I'm telling you and I'm sharing that one of my stresses in life is thinking that there's a possibility I could not be home. There's a possibility because I have seen the possibility of the supernaturals. Imagine if someone said, let there be, and there was. Of course, he can make another Kenya in a minute, and pretend it's Kenya. He can duplicate other people that look like us and make it look like it's Kenya. So I'm battling invasive thoughts of thinking I never went back home in Kenya because people are feeling weird. They're acting weird. They're talking weird. And I'm having a hard time adapting. I'm with my family, and whenever we meet, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, damn, I miss you people. You are not my family. And I feel like shouting that. People are passing by, even people I used to know, and the way they are talking, I feel there's so much aggression from everyone, even people I don't know. It's like there's so much, I don't know, there's so much, I'm feeling, feelings, the way you feel, there's a way you are given senses for something. And my senses are perceiving passive aggression from even strangers, and I'm wondering, sasa, wewe nilikufanyia nini? Nimekufanyia nini? Mbona tuna fight? Mbona unakuja hivyo? Interaction is so hard for me at the moment. Anyway, I was giving the reason why it is mostly girls who go. And you'll never hear men dying in Saudi. It's unlikely because still men go there. There are job opportunities for men. Because men, it is hard to take advantage of a man. Like I told you, men, even the way God presents a man from the beginning, he made man with his own hands, but the woman came from the man. So already a woman is presented as a weaker being, which is wrong. We are not weak. And me trying to so vocally and so strongly say, I understand I'm supposed to be submissive, but are you creating an environment that is encouraging me to submit? Because one of the problems and why I am still single at 13, because I demand so much from men. And even I was being told that whatever I'm looking for is not available. And I'm like, what? Because I have seen women have no problem submitting. The thing with women is we overextend ourselves. And I'm learning also, I am a victim of this. I overextend myself all the time because that is the way of life. I came into earth being programmed that way. It's a programming. Everything here is programmed. And if you open your mind to keeping it empty and learning things, you might surprise yourself with the many things you might learn. So if you're listening to whatever I'm going to share here on my channel, you are going to have to be someone who is very open. You're going to have to be someone who is refusing the robotic programming we have been instilled from birth. Because I had to do away with it, and it was uncomfortable, and it is confusing, and I'm leading a confusing life after Saudi. So I'm saying, first of all, you don't get paid in Saudi before 3 months elapse because they are testing you. They're testing you if you are going to be worthy enough to be given to be called a resident of a very special place. Saudi, it's special, and I'll tell you why. It is a big deal to have an ID. So I passed. I passed my holiness tests. I passed and I became a resident of Saudi, though it was very tough. It was very tough. And I remember the first time a month ended, I told you, first, the money that had been quoted in the office is not the exact amount I got. It was disappointing because, of course, I was sacrificing that much so that I could save and come do something with myself. So if they removed a shilling from, going to Saudi is a risk. So I was feeling, nili risk hapa na hata ile pesa niliambiwa ifiki disappointment. They were saying they'll keep my money until 3 months elapse, but Rajua, pressures the internet. I told you, Saudi, all you do is get pressure, fear pressure from everywhere. So girls would send text to me and say, no kiambo usilipwe the first 3 months ukatae. Juu hao watu wanaweza kaa na pesa yako wakatae na wanaweza. So I was fighting, and as I was fighting, I was told it is possible to use M-Pesa in Saudi. And I was fighting so much to use M-Pesa, but the stupid you are in Saudi. And another lesson, I don't know how many lessons I'm going to just take the lessons. I hope this will help someone somewhere. I think Saudi, it is to test, the whole point of Saudi is to test how well you can take, of course someone made Earth. We didn't come here by accident. We don't have the form we carry by accident. Now, I used to doubt it, but now I know. Someone designed all this that we see. So he feels like it is wrong though, because although you designed us, we are the ones living in this place, and I think it will be very productive for you to take feedback from us, so that another person's experience will be better, because any other earthmate here will testify that Earth is hard. You see people walking, you see people presenting themselves, but they're fighting battles. Everyone, every single person, even our parents. I used to think my parents know it all. There's a way I have changed the way I look at them. I'm more compassionate with the way I have. Before, I used to have so much judgment. Even the way people make mistakes, even the way I know now people make mistakes. I made one in Saudi, which I'm about to share. People make mistakes now. I stopped being so hard on people. And learning the concept of forgiveness and things. So anyway, the first month, I was given a lot of trouble. I think they have hints and hinges here about you, but it is, even the way I get information, I keep telling you, most of it is exaggerated. So I don't act on it because I have to wait and know what may be right, what may be wrong. Because also them, the way they get information about you, because they know you very well, they're expecting you, they have been waiting for you. It was organized from birth. Probably you would go to Saudi. It is not a mistake. They are waiting for you and they know you very well, but the information they have of you is exaggerated. They have a perception formed of you, but, of course, even you, there are so many people talk. People introduce other people before you meet them, but when you meet those people, you're like, but that people used to say this and this, but you're not all that. So it is good to be free of opinions of other people and I've always lived this myself. This is my motto of living. I never, hata ukiniambia na nini mbaya, mpaka ni experience peke yangu. I never judge people based on other people's opinion of them, because everybody has an encounter with, it is individual. The way we'll have a relationship with you, it's not the way another person will have it. And that's how people partner up and get partners, because when you're dating, you get to realize huyu hatuwezani, huyu tunawezana, huyu evil, and that is the way of life. So they know you, they have a perception about you, and most of the things they know about you are exaggerated. So I was trying to tell them me nilikuwa determined wasiniwekee do. So the first month I was determined, and I told them I didn't have a Saudi card. Most things they'll not do for you many things, because they are testing you first. You must satisfy that you are worthy of their time, you are worthy of staying in Saudi before you get an ID. When you get an ID is when they start doing most of the things for you. So the first month I was struggling. Even getting that payment to come to Kenya was a struggle. And I'm saying, test ya Saudi ni kufollow instructions and to have faith, my friend. Na hakuna mtu mwingine anapenda mtu amwamini kama hajui kama Mungu. And that's why I keep saying, it is not a bombshell, it is not a light bulb moment. I want to say that Saudi is heaven. That's where God lives. Yeah. And that is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth from my own experience as well, because I was so curious to know, mbona Saudi nakuwa na hizi mashida zote na hakuna mtu anawezanga kutatua. you're in the presence of God, na God amepeana instruction ya venye unafaa kufanya vitu zake. So ukienda huko kufanya mambo yako, they will kill you. There are people, I see the way they see, and I keep telling you I can turn violent very fast, and I know where they react the way they react. Mtu anaku x-ray hivi na anaona vile unafikiria, anaona your emotions, anaona your thoughts. Damn, that is a person that can kill you very fast ukianza kufikiria kijinga. In the presence of thee. That's why people die. Nothing will ever happen, because he made you, he can unmake you, and he can kill you. And the whole point is to send fear, and to fear Saudi, and also to make it undesirable, so you'll never think you can walk to heaven. You can take a bus, you can take an airplane to heaven. And also they make it appear like, the way it appears, it is undesirable. It's a very fearful place to go. So, and that is the whole point. They don't want you to know that. And I undid that accidentally, because they were torturing me. Through my mental torture, I was able to come up with very strong conclusions, and they can't sway my mind. You Saudis might get away with playing girls' minds huko, but iyawamo, pana. Apana, and I will help a girl, because I keep saying I'm fighting God, because God anabebanga mwanamke hivi. Look at the Saudi woman. Do you know that woman anafunikangwa na onanga tu hapa? The only wanachua tu space ya kuona. Do you see how God is a manager of women? God is using all the resources he has to manage a woman, to use the woman to please a man. And that is it. And I'm refusing to be the woman whose only mission on earth is to please a man. I want to have experiences. I have interests. I have passions. I have things I like as bad before anyone else comes and makes it all about them. And that is the fight of the woman. That is my fight. And the fights of the many girls who are in Saudi. Because women who are in Saudi are fighting the fact that a man wants to come into your life and make everything about him. Ni kama wewe hauna maisha, ni kama wewe hauna interest, ni kama wewe hauna kitu kingine unaweza sema. That is wrong. Na mwanamke wa Saudi anawekwa hivyo. Mwanamke wa Saudi ni kujifunika na kuona na mwanamume wake akiolewa na kuzaa, na that's it. And I was just pitying them and wondering, new people, how do you manage to stay in this place? Because nilikuwa naona vitu mtu hawezi fanya, hawezi enda nje kubuy anything. You must be accompanied by a man, and I'm like, oh man, I already miss Kenya. Mi ati mtu ishine mkifuatana. Mtu mwenye ako na macho kama yako, uko na probably hata akili zako zimeshinda zake. Anakuambia nini? I am not trying to start a revolution of not considering men, but I'm just saying we have considered men for the longest time possible, and all women do is suffer. Nobody appreciates the effort a woman puts. Wewe unajua wewe ndio bright, wewe ndio uko na akili, but lazima uume mlimi. Wacha tu ninyamaze juu. Unajua ukiendelea kuongea sana, you should let men talk. Men are the heads of the houses. Damn. I am confused about that, and I have completely lost the structure. My Saudi experience have made me lose the structure of life. And I keep telling you, I keep feeling pressure to. I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things, and everything I'm hearing is pressuring me to have a man in my life. And there are things that I'm going to look for, and no man will ever be able to come close to me if he's not willing also to meet me halfway. As I come to meet you halfway, you're also coming to meet me halfway. And unless a relationship is based on mutual respect and an absolute best interest of me, it's still lazima. And I keep telling you still lazima. And I was dying and most people die there because you are fighting the perspective of God of a woman do you know how relationships are valued in this place? When nobody used to ask me out when I was young, I used to feel bad. And I keep saying on this channel, I have had self-image issues growing up. I felt like all my friends would be asked out, and it was a nice thing. Love is a beautiful big thing. Men makes us feel good. When you meet a man, you like him, and he asks you out, and you get to do romantic stuff. It's good stuff, which I am trying to do in my life still. But as you grow older, you realize that it is not about feeling good only. You bring a child here, there are generational things that you might find out about. I told you this place is all about, even ancestors are there. It's a lineage. There are things I'm fighting that concern people. The name I carry that doesn't even concern me. It's a tough battle. So when you grow older, you realize you must stop this feel-good thing and get into serious business. And I now understand why the Hoyts even make a contract, because I think for marriages to be fair and good, apart from the attraction and the pure goodness you feel when you feel love will not sustain anything that is serious. And these are some of the lessons I have learned. And as I battle so much information that have been put in my head since I encountered Saudi. So anyway, I was talking about my first salary. I was told, I'm telling you, first sikuwa na internet, na nimekuambia kwanza kusikiza chenye unaambiwa Saudi itakusaidia sana. Just listening to what they're telling you. Following simple instructions, and that's what I'm learning. And when I came back a person who was so humbled. I could even listen to a madman talking in the streets. And if you think they're mad, they're saying something. And I stopped now wanting to take lead so much. I took a step back and listened. And although I have made a lot of trips that are not interesting to me and I feel bad about them because I was confused and humbled in a bad way. Yeah, I think another lesson is just to be able to listen to another person, not to... I'm a kind of a narcissist because I can come out of like, I know, and which is not good. You should also listen to other people, and I'm learning this, and I'm allowing it. And I think even growing up, I always listened to people. People used to give me so much correction, and it was not even given in a good way, and I used to act on it and make the necessary adjustments. Although people are giving me correction in a bad way, so I don't know. I have been confused about myself because the way a person is trying to present me is not who I am. And I'm learning there's a person who presented me in a very bad light. And that is, I am not that person at all. I am not that person at all. And I keep wondering, when God works, how are rumors spreading in a place where God is everywhere and sees and he hears everything? Isn't that strange? Anywho, I'm struggling to get paid, my guys. Whenever I get access to the internet, girls are sending me, they are just advice scattered everywhere. How you should not, girls advise each other uko vizuri. And I think that interaction sells more fear than courage. And I told you the whole point of Saudi is for you to stay fearful. Kuna kitu mzuri na kungoja Saudi. Na kama una survive Saudi, first of all, where you know what the fear of God is, you know how to act, you are thinking right, because they are wanakuangalia mpaka kwa roho ndani. You get? Saudi, if you see Saudi coming to you, bad things are, death is around the corner. And I keep telling you, when I came back, I was smelling death all over. I would go outside, it's smelling like a morgue. I go in the house, it's smelling like a morgue. I go to church, it's smelling like a morgue. I battled with the death smell for like 3 months. Unafuatwa tu na harufu ya kifo. That was very mind torturing. I was under mental torture and emotional torture. I told you, I felt so much emotions between 2022 2023. I might meet you and I'm laughing in a funeral. Don't mind me. I'm not mad. Mi niko zoni yangu, nimepelekwa zoni yangu na Wasaudi. They have been, and God communicates through the mind. My mind has gone to places, my guys. My mind has been getting information. I can't tell you where that information came from, but I have had conversations and I have so much information about our life here on earth. And I can't tell you how I got that information, but I just do it. I just have it. So the struggle of my first payment, na hiyo kutishiwa, usiwaache wakae na pesa yako wanaweza kunyang'anya. So there's that pressure. Unapressuriwa juu also. Bad shit happened in Saudi. Very bad, terrible things happen to girls in Saudi. So of course I was determined not to be a victim. And I am using all my brains. I am using all the information I have to make sure I don't end up being a victim. So anyway, I pushed them to like send the money home through M-Pesa to my mom. It was such a task. First of, they were asking about my mom to go to the bank and verify so many things. And you know, some were very helpful. Some were giving me good tips. Some Arabs. So they were telling me, don't mind them. They're just trying to see if your mother has a bank account. And I'm like, my mother is a teacher. My mother has been a teacher for almost, you know, she was almost retiring. And one of the things that was encouraging me to go to Saudi was like, you know, my parents were getting older. I was nilikuwa natamani ni pia mimi niwatekie care. Miaka ilikuwa inasonga na kuna kitu inaniwakia, sijakuwa stable bado in financial means. And that is one of the reasons that I made a decision to go be a maid in Saudi. So anyway, I'm like, my mother has been a teacher, you guys, and for many, many years, of course, she has a bank account. I don't know what they think about us back here. Sijui wanatubebanga aje, but I hope Saudis, that was a lesson for you to treat everyone correctly. Treat everyone with dignity, no matter if you're the boss or not, because not all of us are stupid. Not all of us are stupid. Don't stop taking advantage of girls because they're in their worst seasons of their lives. Because anyone going to Saudi, of course, has given up in life. Mtu ana make decision ya kwenda mahali unaweza rudi kwa coffin. Si unaona pia maisha imekusukuma kiasi. It's a bad season of your life. So don't take advantage of girls who are in the bad seasons of their life. Yeah, some of us will come and will overturn the tables, and now look at us now. It feels good. It feels good to be on the other side of the receiving end, you know. Sio kila siku ati ni, yeah, you monitor whatever you're monitoring. Sio kila siku ati sisi ndio tunaumia. The tables can turn anytime. So let's treat each other with love. Let's have the right intentions whenever we are doing anything to anyone. That's also a lesson I'm teaching the Saudis, because they also have to learn. Anyway, now it was a struggle, but eventually they were able to connect and to work on some things which was very tasky and heavy, and I was feeling like already I was mentally exhausted just to send money home, my first salary. So the first 3 months when I had no ID, I had no Saudi ID, money was being sent to my mom via M-Pesa. I felt safer that way. Nobody would take advantage of ever refusing with my money. This time I'm also working on getting a Saudi SIM card so that I can access the internet, because they told if I was to access the internet, I was going to buy it for myself. And I think the whole point where there was no internet in Saudi was to protect me. But me being a hardhead, please, if you are a girl and you're going to Saudi, can you be as stupid as you can be? And that's why in the beginning, girls, ulikuwa unasikia watu wakienda Saudi wananyang'anywa simu. I told you, it's a special place, a place where the energy in that place, that's why the internet become crazy, you guys. They know the internet is going to mess your head. So I was being protected by someone by making sure sikuwa na internet, but I told you it's a spiritual war. Not all spirits are for you because of the deaths and how people interacted in the past, and it is being carried forward. That's how life is. So not every spirit is for you. And there not being an internet was a kind of protection, but I never knew that. I never knew it, so I was fighting to have internet wherever I could get. And also, man, a place where you don't go outside, huendi nje, hufanye kitu ingine. I mean, that was the only source of entertainment, and me, I love entertainment. I was feeling, nilikuwa nasikia kasi na internet nafinyiliwa. And remember, I was telling you I was going to work on my trading journey. Nilikuwa so determined. I was in that process. Sahi nakatizwa juu siko na stable internet connection. So I was like, damn, is anything going to work for Amo in this place? So anyway, apart from the salary, another thing is, I told you, before you leave for Saudi, unapelekangwa kufanya funny tests that make you feel like you're going to be sexually harassed. And of course, yeah, you hear girls, kuna wasichana wanarepiwa huko. I used to think you could die by sleeping with an Arab. Apparently, I don't know what the cause of death in Saudi, but there are many. But there are girls being sexually harassed there, and also personally was sexually harassed. And I was taken to another hospital test before my ID came out. They took me to another hospital test, and they were so adamant on, they call urine moya, moya, and water, something like that. And those tests were funny because me, I'm familiar with, I am very familiar with hospital tests. They were all directed to something. There was something to do with sex about it. I was feeling like people are like getting ready to, in case they get physical with you, they are safe, which is wrong. I felt like already I was being harassed. So when you get to Saudi, after being tested back at home, you are taken for another test. Again, they must confirm you are free of diseases. Arabs, seriously. You expect, and that's why it is hard to believe the truth of that place. Like, come on. I'm recording this because also the truth that has come to me, I can't believe that is how the person I have been most curious about operates. It's a shame. Shame on you, man. Do better. It's such a big shame. I'm ashamed and disappointed of the truths I have learned about Saudi. And wow. Also, this is a record of my disappointment of the truth I found about Saudi. So, nimepelekwa test. Of course, I passed. I'm a girl. I don't know what they expected. And I told you, niliitwa ho. The way Saudis live their lives, they live their lives as saints. And I think to God, what qualifies you to be a saint is your sexual conduct, which I find life is more than sex. Life is more than sex. Some of us make bad sexual decisions, but we are very good people. Some of us were not given very good orientation to life. We make mistakes. That doesn't qualify you to abuse us and call us whores because you don't wear buibui and we don't wait for marriage to have sex. It is not our fault. See, tulizaliwa place iko hivyo. You are not in a position to abuse us in any way because sisi hatuishi kama nyinyi. That is wrong. You are not better than us just by the fact that mnangojea before marriage. And anyway, even those husbands of yours are always coming to my room to disturb me. And that is why I left. And that's why Saudi became so hard for me because I started being sexually harassed. So I went there thinking like the way Arabs present themselves like they are so holy and sex and things. They're not that holy. There's nothing special about Arabs. They're just, apart from knowing so much about our existence that we don't know, they're the worst. They go all out in these things. They go all out. They will leave you in the worst ways possible. They put ideas in my head that made me act like a crazy person, and that's why when I learned that there was a possibility they could have been seeing me in private and recording me, I felt like I could collapse and die. Damn, Saudis, like, do better. So anyway, I'm waiting now for my ID, which will take 3 months. We could communicate. And I told you, Arabic is not very hard for a Swahili speaker. And I don't know, for me, somehow I can always tell what they were talking about. I think it's a gift. I have a gift of discernment. I can always, even without speaking, I have a gift of getting information about things, even like the way I told you, I'm alert about how you're acting, how you're reacting, how you're talking, your tone. I can tell when you're talking about someone else, I can tell, we could communicate and we would understand each other. And since I could do that, I was also aware they're also human beings, they can do that. So I used to speak in English all the time. Wananiongelesha Kiarabu na mimi naongea English. Na sikuwa na stress na maisha inaendelea hivyo. So my mom has been sent money in that, the simple mistakes I'm making. I'm telling you guys, if you're in Saudi, keep your money. The less contact you have with people at home, the less interference you're likely to face. Because I faced a lot of interference, guys, because nilijifanya mjuaji. M-Pesa ndiyo nishatumwa kwa mama yangu, nisha call, tumeshaanza kucommunicate, in the past there was that strict regulation on calling, and I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. And I think it's wrong that we have allowed that thing to go so wrong, because I'm suffering. I'm one victim of suffering, of having gotten in contact with things I should have not gotten in contact with. And life has been very terrifying. And I have had to be so strong to even share my story and to even come to comprehend so much and to know where I was. If I'm saying Saudi is heaven, is because I have suffered for almost 3 years to get this information, and nobody will ever tell me anything. Yeah, I know and I know and I know and I know. We are busy searching for God juu na ako tu huku na sisi. Because of course God wants to be mysterious. If he's not secretive enough, if you know the reality of the way God is, you might be, you're prone to fighting, because I'm feeling like fighting him all the time with that truth that I learned. Nasikia kupigana because I'm so angry and disappointed. Anyway, nimetuma first salary home, imeenda through to mom, M-Pesa, yay. And my mom now would transfer it to my bank, and I would get a bank notification, and I would be satisfied. Because also, another alert you get from Saudi is girls say, people used to send money to their relatives at home, and unakuja home, unarudi, unapata pesa ilitumika yote. So I was being cautious, guys, because, just surviving in Saudi and being able to make money, and then ukuji usikie pesa yako inatumiwa inaenda na ujui, you will cry. You will cry, my guy. So I was taking heed to all these things. So I would make sure my mom has deposited that money in the bank na imekuja ting, because I was not going to sacrifice myself and make a loss. I was living under fear, like I told you, hizo gunshot nini. And there's a key presence that was there, you'd feel weird. I was just feeling weird all the time. You'd feel unsettled. There was just things happening, and I kept telling, as things would happen, me personally, I asked questions, and I asked, what is happening here? And I told you, my boldness saved me, because I'm bold and I'm able to ask questions, and when things are not going right, I'm able to say, kwani kunaendaje, that is what saved me. And also the way you are taught. No, Saudi ni watu strict sana, especially when it comes to sex. Our mama, baba na mama hawapatani, they never meet. Women have their own place to eat, even when there are parties, and men have their own place to meet. They never meet. They never ever meet. Men and women never interact. And when they do, when we go outside, kulikuwa na hiyo buibui kujifunga, but mimi sikuwa najifunikia. Of course, I was thinking, that doesn't apply to me. I'm black. There are things that even I was wondering, hawa wanaume wa Arabu wanaweza tamani mtu black, the way we are raised. And it is good to feel that the black skin comes with a lot of fight in the world, So me hata wakati mwingine nilikuwa navaa vile nataka juu, I'm like, hawa wanaume wanaweza tamani mtu black. So I was feeling safe because I'm black. I was feeling like I could get away with a few things because I was black. And also I was asking them, because in my head I was like, also Arabs, I have never had Arabs marry someone out of their culture. So mimi nilikuwa sure I was safe. While I was thinking, I was sure I was safe. And I was free from interference sexually, because of course, Arab men always they would only love what looks close to them. But of course I was wrong, because even today, as we live and interact, so many have changed. Even tulianza na wazungu wakichukiana, saizi wazungu na Mwafrika wanawana. So it's all about our mental programming and how we are accepting things as we continue to interact, because also we are evolving as human beings. So anyway, nimeweza kulipwa, bado nitaendelea kungoja, but as I waited now, I was not worried, because now I knew my mom was going to be sent the money, and when it was successfully even deposited in the bank, so stress zangu za kulipwa zikaisha. Kulikuwa na story mingi ya watu wenye walikuwa wanakaa huko miaka 2 wanarudi na hawapati do, zimetumiwa vibaya, and that was not going to be me. So stay tuned for when I get the ID and other interesting problems that I remember from settling in Saudi.